Here's another thing my son said. He was home over the weekend. It's my wife's birthday.
Did she debrief him about his experiences so far as first year college?
Yeah, but he shares a lot with us. That is one thing I'm happy about with him. He'll tell us everything that goes on in his life, most of it anyway, I think. Mm-hmm. And so I like that open communication that we have with him. And it's always good to have him home. You know, you forget he's not there and you miss him, and then he comes home and he's got this way about him. For instance, when it was my wife's birthday, we had dinner, we cooked out steaks, we were eating, and then my daughter said, I think we should go around the table and say our favorite thing about Mom. Okay? So, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea.
Give me a minute. I only need 5. Hang on. It's because there's so many, it's hard
Do me last.
It's hard to pick one.
Well, I went first, and I said, well, she takes care of our whole family. I mean, she runs the whole household. You know, she's the rock. She's the family. She's the centerpiece of the family. And then I said,
hold on, this last part is smudged. She's a rock, she's a family. That's all I got.
The rock of the family. No, and then I said, and she's so warm and loving, and I said, and she's so funny. And my son said, you're laying it on thick now. Come on, bro. She goes, come on, bro. You're laying it on thick. And she said, I am funny. I said, she is funny. That's exactly right. She's fun, and she's funny, and she's light.
Oh, and she keeps everything running.
Right.
Whether you like it or not.
That's right. She runs the railroad. And
trains are on time.
Yes, trains run on time no matter what. And then my daughter said some very nice things. And then my son said, y'all took all mine. And that was,
Yeah.
And then she said,
what a moment.
Exactly. And then the next day he said, I don't know why he worries about this. He's 18 years old, but my son said to me, tell me about getting your prostate checked. Tell me about that.
At age 18?
At age 18. I said, I don't think you have to worry about that for some time. And he said, is it when the doctor puts his whole fist up your butt? Does he put his whole fist up your butt? And I said, no, he does not put his whole fist. And in fact, I have a physical on Friday, so I imagine I'll be getting the check. And I said, no, it's not the whole fist. I said, it's just one finger.
Just some of it.
It's one finger.
You're conflating two different worlds.
Exactly. Yeah. And he said, and he went, I can't imagine. I said, I don't think what age? 30, 25 when they first start doing that?
For the prostate?
Yeah.
It's closer to 40.
40?
Much older.
Is it 40?
Unless
Good.
you've had issues back there, and then they.
Well, he said, isn't it at 50? And I said, no, I think you're thinking about the colonoscopy. And he said, "Oh, that's when they put the whole fist up your butt." And
Son,
said, no one puts a fist.
No one's fisting
unless you ask nicely.
No one will do that to you.
I don't know what rumor you've heard.
No,
they will if you have cash.
That does not. No,
but insurance won't cover it.
Okay, no. And then I had to explain the colonoscopy, which is the camera, and then we got off into Michael Jackson and that
the sleeping drug.
Milk.
Yeah, and I don't know. My wife again. It was on her birthday. So she'd had a few Chardonnays. This was
Stop
after.
saying fisting.
Okay. Okay. And I said, I don't know why she brought it up. I said, the colonoscopy is something that we all have to do at age 45 or 50, and it's a easy procedure. And I said that,
an important one.
And an important procedure, and it has to be done for men, anyone, to check their colon. And I said, the camera goes up your butt. You're asleep, and they give you a medication that makes you have a wonderful sleep, and it's an important and easy procedure. And my wife said, it killed Michael Jackson. And I said, no.
It did not.
She's talking about the solution.
Right.
She's talking about the medication. I said, no, it did not kill Michael Jackson because he had too much of it.
Yes.
And she goes, and his doctor was a quack, I can tell you that. And I went, okay.
Well, that's true.
Then we got off on Michael Jackson and his doctor because that's the stuff Michael Jackson would use to fall asleep.
Propofol.
That's right. The milk. He would say,
it's good stuff.
My milk. Yes.
If used properly and as directed.
Yes.
They have long said it's a medical miracle, that stuff.
That's right.
And it got a bad name because of that.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And it is, and I loved it.
I did too.
When they put you out, it's a great sleep.
Is this when you're going to put the fear?
Remember I said, and I was telling him
Do
about.
I need to count back from 100? Because I don't think it's.
That's what I said. My wife said, why don't you tell him how you thought you were impervious to it, which is true.
Right.
It's true.
Right.
He put the propofol in. He said, okay, you're going to get sleepy here in the next few seconds. I was wide awake for a few seconds. And I said, I think I may be impervious to this. Do I need to and then down I went. I mean, just that quickly.
I love it.
You also thought you were impervious to the drinking the stuff the night before.
That's right.
Because you're like, my body's a temple. It's already cleaned out.
That's right. And because the first 2 hours, I didn't have to get on the toilet. But at about hour 3, I went to the toilet and stayed on the
Gangbusters.
toilet. Golly, man, that is a nightmare.
And I heard they have pills now. You don't have to take the drink.
Get out of here. Really?
Yeah, somebody that took it. They have, I think you take 2 pills, and then you take 2 pills like 12 hours later, and it does the work.
What a great invention.
Everybody tells me that after I drank that gallon back in February.
Because they don't like
whatever
you.
It was.
Or
January.
Yeah, you had the gallon.
And then I had and I had COVID right after because it was the worst week of my life.
Oh, that's right. You had the colonoscopy and then COVID. Yeah, that's
terrible.
Back to back, just awful. Can you cut him some slack? There is a guy in Lincoln County, Oklahoma, Stillwater. He is the former boyfriend of a woman whose house was raided. The cops thought he was there and she was hiding him. She's a single mother. It turns out he wasn't there. Her name is Brittany Fent. And when the cops came in, unfortunately, they did all sorts of damage to the home to the point where her kids can't even sleep there anymore. So the TV station in Stillwater, KFOR, did a report on this. And the police say, when we go in, we didn't believe he wasn't there. So we did take apart her whole house. And that's just what we do. You know, we had reason to believe she was hiding him. She wasn't. And we've talked with our attorney, Lisa Lanier, about this. That's just how it is. So her home was ransacked. Now, this is the woman whose house was taken down.
They mangled everything. Now I'm evicted, and I don't even have a place to live. I don't know why they had to break their beds.
The former boyfriend, was wanted for armed robbery and is on the loose. He saw the report on KFOR and turned himself in and said, I just wanted to do the right thing
I wonder
here.
if he felt bad about that.
He did. He said he felt bad that the woman's house was taken apart. She doesn't have a place to live. The kids don't have a place to live. So he turned himself into police and literally said, I saw it on the news and I felt really bad. Can you cut him some slack? He is wanted for, he's not been arrested for armed robbery. No slack.
He cut him slack.
No slack.
Does this woman have legal recourse?
You know, that's a good question. I mean, that is another one for our attorney. If the police go in and just make a mockery, just ransack
she can't live
her
there.
home.
She's evicted.
She's evicted. Yeah, they evicted her because the house is destroyed, basically.
Yeah, that's too bad.
She couldn't be there. I don't think so, though. I think if they...
There's no city budget for oopsies?
No, I don't think. Now, if you went into the wrong house, like, if they thought Biggie was harboring a criminal and they go into Biggie's neighbor's house and get the wrong address, I think then they have to make it up to you, don't they? Because there's no reason.
I don't know.
I don't think you get any money. I'm sure the city has a program that could put her in some sort of housing, I would think.
Yeah. You don't think you get money even if they go in the wrong house? I do. I think they have to rebuild.
Wrong house is different.
Yeah, I think you have to rebuild.
That's when you
that.
call lawyers.
Oh, yeah. This woman, poor thing, I think.
This guy turned himself in. He might get a break on the running
The
from the
fugitive
law,
part?
the fugitive part.
Yeah, maybe, right.
But he'll do the full boat on the other.
Well, if I know local radio and in Stillwater, maybe they're putting together a GoFundMe.
I would think so. Yeah, you'd think they would do something like that, wouldn't you? Now the other, there's no cutting slack here either. A man has been accused of using a hidden camera to record a woman in the dressing room of the Gap in Shadyside, Pennsylvania, right outside Pittsburgh.
Shady.
Apparently, the guy had been working there for 3 days, and a woman was
Gap.
at the Gap. Guys working at the Gap.
Do you know that people are getting naked in there?
Yeah.
What a messy store.
He had been working at the Gap for 3 days, and he held a camera under the stall door, and a woman saw it and said, "What are you doing?" And the camera disappeared. And she was curious about it. The camera came back. She goes, "What are you doing?" And it went away, and he ran out. But they got him. They've arrested him now. And the folks outside Pittsburgh say, this is disgusting.
Gross. Creep. Yeah, I'm glad they caught him.
They're asking...
They're right.
Bystanders. They're asking people who shop at the Gap.
I think it's terrible. I can't imagine. You trust employees. You think that they're there to help you, and they're violating somebody's privacy. That's just horrible.
In a big way. In a big way. And he didn't plant a camera inside the dressing room. He reached under handheld device.
Bold.
Yeah.
I always found it a little
several times.
off-putting because I think the Gap was the first place where... Because Chris Kelly knew me in the 90s, you guys didn't, but that's all I wore was Gap clothing. And, when you try something on, the Gap was the first place where I would remember an employee would come back there. Hey, how those jeans fitting?
Yeah, they do.
Ooh.
They
They holler through the
They do.
door.
Yeah, they
I don't know
do.
if it's to, keep the relationship going or cut down on theft. I don't know, but just to kind of let you know, hey, you need a different size?
Yeah.
You want a shirt to go with that?
Definitely, they were trained to do that. That was, yeah. But see, that was one of those stores where I would try to go in and fit in the clothing.
You're just not Gap material.
Mm-hmm. You can't fall into the Gap. You won't fit.
Abercrombie and Fitch was worse.
Way worse.
But the Gap was bad enough.
You're more of a Jay Riggins man.
Yeah. I'd learned that the hard way. I would put on those Gap clothes and, wander out of there, and they'd say, oh, it looks great, when in reality, it's way too
Sir, if
small.
you just take a right, you'll end up in pennies if you keep walking.
That's it. Biggie, I think he has to say two nice things.
But it's accurate.
God, dog.
We're really
I know my mall layout.
Yeah.
We have,
Their rugby shirts will fit you.
all right. We have a few more of the shoppers at the Gap.
It's pretty appalling. Can't believe it. Very disturbing. I've been in there many times trying on clothes, so hate to hear it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, what else are you going to say? The reporters
She speaks for all of us.
Yeah, they went around from customer to customer.
What do you think about naked people at the Gap? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Well, they
Frankly, Bob, we were surprised as many people were at the mall
yeah.
here in Shady Side.
They raided the man's home. His name is Alvarez, and they raided his home and found 5 more cell phones, 2 laptops, 2 tablets, 3 USB drives, and an external hard drive filled
Too much gear.
with pictures of women
Yeah.
taking their clothes off.
So when you go in a dressing room, you don't really expect someone to be watching you undress. So you would, I never think about it when I'm changing and trying on clothes at a store. You just expect to feel safe.
Now, even with all this evidence against him, Alvarez said, this is circumstantial. I am not guilty. But I think the coup de grace was the reporter who had this to say.
And on the night of the incident, police say Almaraz Google searched, quote, charges for videotaping customer without consent in changing room in Pennsylvania.
Oh, right. Like you've never Googled that.
People are so specific.
Yeah.
In the second floor of the map of the Gap at Shady Side.
Unisex. Not men, not women, unisex.
They were discount items. All sales are final.
Search.
Yeah.
Well, look who's perfect.
Did you mean?
You can't even auto-complete that.
I mean,
No,
my
you
God.
can't
It gets so
everything.
long.
All the way through Pennsylvania. My God. I used to go into Structure. Do you recall Structure? I had a great time.
Oh, yeah.
With a
Was it
column.
yarn?
Yeah, it was yarn.
Square bottom?
Had a square bottom. I love those
Structure
times.
was made for people like you.
I love those times. Why do you say that?
Just very, it was like a, I don't know, it seemed like it was nice clothes.
Yep.
But it wasn't.
Yes.
But it wasn't like quality clothes.
No, it wasn't quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Structure. Are they still around? I don't think they're still around.
No, because
they're
I'd go in there
around, yeah.
sometimes and get like a sweater or jeans.
Did
It
you?
it never was lasted.
Yeah.
They had the Roman columns outside the side of
Yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah, Structure.
I always felt cool and important in there, but
I
the quality
loved it.
was bad.
I loved it. One of my ties actually had a column on. I bought a lot of ties there. It had like a column,
Yeah, I know. They had some Venus de Milos.
Yes, I love.
There was a time for that.
Structure. I thought
Michelangelo's David, you have to put
Yep.
the tie pin on
Yes,
his penis.
yes, yes.
I bet we were in there at the same time, probably judging each other.
That's
like,
fair.
look at this guy buying ties and Structure. You're like, look at this fat kid buying jeans.
Like
Yeah,
you said,
so probably.
something.
I
Like
probably
they have his size here.
Yeah, right. I'm sure I said that about you. You got but Abercrombie and Fitch was the worst because I'd go in there and try to fit into those
Yeah.
really nice shirts.
Oh,
and-
forget it. Yeah. I used to
couldn't
go in
do
and just wander and then be like, I'll just have some cologne.
Yep.
Have your kids, they sort of dodge, Kelly, you've got teenagers, they dodge the whole Hollister wave?
Yeah, my daughter, we went back to school shopping once, and she liked Hollister. We got some stuff in there.
Okay.
But now it's so much online.
Right.
And there's,
Target and online, man.
yeah, and she buys a lot of stuff, but it's, Sheen is that. Remember, we talked about
Shein
them
is
one
very
day.
big.
She's big. She buys that kind of stuff. And that's a big place for kids, for teenagers.
And a lot of young kids go to thrift stores now and go
Yes.
to the secondhand stores
That's
or
nice.
Goodwill
That's good.
to buy stuff.
Good.
Because there's
Yeah.
I don't know if there's retro stuff in there or what, but they'll go in there and shop, and
They like
of course
that.
they're saving their money too.
They like that. They
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I saw one of those videos we loved the other day of somebody going around stopping like college kids walking around asking them, name, 3 songs of the band that's on your shirt.
Yep. I like that.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, they don't know. My daughter.
I just woke up, man.
My daughter has a.
Name 3 Pink Floyd songs right now.
What do we have, Van Halen?
So you have a Van Halen T-shirt on. What's your favorite Van Halen song? I don't know. I just woke up. Can you name one Van Halen? No. Not right now. Come back to me at 30.
Give me
Stolen Valor.
That's stolen valor.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No.
My daughter has a Nirvana shirt. I said, name 3 songs. She's, I don't know anything about that. I don't know not one thing do I know about Nirvana. No.
Speaking of Goodwill, we did some purging recently at the Demm household, and I took some things over, and I had forgotten to I got almost everything, but I had a couple of extra former dress shirts that I used to wear. Mm-hmm. And the buttons are coming loose. They don't fit, that. And they're out of style. So I took the shirts over to Goodwill. It was just a couple of men's shirts, and I handed them to the guy right through the window. And before I could even drive away, his partner was like, let's see them. Let's check them out. How good are they?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think they wore them home.
Oh, really? They just take them. Oh, yeah. Do they make a little payment for that, or do they just take them, do you think?
I don't know the answer.
I
don't want to.
Do they stick $10 in
I know we learned that earlier this year that they don't wash anything. They just put it right on the rack.
That was news to me. I really did not expect that.
Yeah.
There's one more. Can you cut them some slack? Now, this is a great legal question here. This is from a place called Gold Bar, Washington State, Snohomish County. And there is a guy who works there at the Gold Bar grocery store, locally owned. And he was wearing a T-shirt that said, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, which you'd think would be just fine, except it's got then a KKK member insignia on it. And he's
hood?
Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
That's not right.
Are you saying it's too soon?
Well, it's... First of all, I don't like it because it's not even close to Christmas yet. I'm sorry, but it's too early to be wearing those.
Your Klan shirt.
Come on.
You being you would just read that and be like, love your shirt.
Right. Klan man.
Oh, really? You like my shirt? I do.
You're Klan guy.
Who they got this weekend?
I do.
Looking good.
Man.
You'd be fished into a rally.
I know. I'd wind up at one.
Oh, I'm glad you said you like my shirt. Here's some paperwork.
So
I slipped a brochure in your bag, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the argument. Some people are saying that's a hate group, and it's awful. I'm embarrassed.
The world is a scary place right now, and Gold Bar should be a safe haven for those of us who live here.
That woman's lived there for a long, long time, and she says, I can't shop at a place like that.
Sounds like a tiny town, Gold Bar.
It is. It's very small. But another woman there said, hey, wait a minute. What about freedom of speech?
Didn't everybody fight for our freedoms, for free speech, and to be able to do what we want here?
All right. You should be allowed to wear it. Now
it's going to reflect on store management.
That's what it is. You can wear it. It's a freedom of speech thing. You can definitely wear it. But they talked to a professor from Snohomish, Washington, and she said, yeah, you can wear it, but you really should be asking store management, why are you letting him wear it?
The KKK is a hate group. And so this messaging is very much hate speech, but it is allowed under the First Amendment. If the employer wanted to tell the employee not to wear that, again, to wear a particular uniform, not to engage in potentially open carry, right? They would be well within their rights to do that.
He also is an open carry guy, so he had a gun, and the employer allows that too. The news reached out to the employer, and they just said no comment over and over and over again. I wouldn't let that in my store. A KKK shirt in my store.
No.
Sounds like they're cool with it though.
They are.
That's what I mean. That's.
But they'll suffer those consequences if you don't want to shop there. You don't. have to
I would say there's freedom of speech and there's freedom of consequences from that.
You're right. So you don't. So
how many food options do you have in Gold Bar?
Yeah, I do question the store.
I'm not sure. It's a locally owned and it's a very small place, so it might be one of only 2 or 3 grocery stores there. And there are 2 opposing sides.
Freedom of speech.
That's not okay.
Okay, you heard those 2 go at it over and over and over again. The last word goes to the woman who's lived there for longest.
I've lived here 39 years, and I've been embarrassed by things in this town before, and this is so far beyond that.
She's emotional about this. Mm-hmm. You can tell. Mm-hmm. There's emotion in her voice. Yeah. As of now, he's allowed to wear the Ku Klux Klan I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas shirt. My biggest take on this, it is not time for Christmas yet. What about Thanksgiving, Dave? Why does it?
I hate it when they pass it over like that. It's the best of all the holidays, and nobody wants to give it the time of day.
The shirt said Black Friday?
Right.
What do they think? What does the Klan think of Black Friday?
You know what the shirt should say? Instead of Christmas, it should say, like, white meat or something like that. White meat only at my table.
The other white meat?
White meat only at my table on my turkey. That's what it should say.
Yeah.